Was the paint done? Was the look the same? I mean, what has changed? Just visually, not even equipment. Air guitar. I'm the drummer. Come on.
What equipment have I used that I loved? You know, that's all you can really go by.
Right.
Luckily, it really, you know, served well. I mean, we've done good at picking pieces, and everyone uses everything that's in here, you know. The oldest piece in here to the newest piece in here, it all gets used.
Right. Mutant Nation, what's going on? As you guys know, this is time for a little Mutant on a Mission action, but Ron Partlow is a little busy doing other things, so I'm gonna step in and do what he does, only do it better. I'm Dusty Hanshaw, and this is Mutant on a Mission.
How's it going?
A little surprise on why Ron Partlow was a little busy for the episode.
There you go.
Because today I have to host so he can be the gym owner.
This is great. I feel like
Absolutely.
I'm on holiday.
He's on vacation, but we still got him working. So walk us in, show us the beginning of West Coast Iron.
It's funny, we got some pallets here because we're actually shipping a couple pieces of equipment right away. So you know, we're always doing something, right?
Real life.
You got to keep that industrial feel going, you know?
It's hardcore. How many years ago did we do the first Mutant on a Mission here?
Well, I think it was season 3 that we actually
Right.
came here. It might have been season 4, but
Right.
in there somewhere, 3 or 4. And you know, we had just opened, and so I sort of did my own hosting tour of the gym. I did, you know what I mean?
Right.
I did it myself. So, and obviously we were a new gym, so we were pretty excited, and it was great to do it. But we just felt that, you know, we'd really love to get the gym back on the show again. You know,
I think it's time.
you know, we survived the craziness of the last couple years, and we had our
Use the word, but
we had our 5-year anniversary.
Nice.
And we figured a 5-year anniversary is, you know, that's a good celebration for a gym. Most gyms don't see the 5 years, so
For sure.
you know, it's we thought we'd do another episode, and so I lobbied Mutant and see if we could get the gym back on the show.
We had to work hard for about 1.5 years to make it happen.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when we came in and I got the great opportunity to actually be the host of your show,
Right.
I immediately realized the first thing you have to do is don't watch anything Ron does, because you're not going to do it the same or as well. So I'm going a different route. I'm going the Joe Rogan route, where I ask questions that I want to know.
Okay, that's cool.
So since the gym, when you first did the Mutant on a Mission, was the paint done? Was the look the same? I mean, what has changed just visually, not even equipment?
I mean, we had the room painted,
Right.
but we did a huge reno where we knocked out a giant room at the back here
Oh, right, I
and
remember.
blew this all out, put in new stairs, new railing, fixed the place up. Mutant came in. We got a great thing going with Mutant where we provide a lot of their product at the juice bar, right? So, you know, Mutant's got some advertising in here that they've worked out a deal with us. So, you know, we love having this sort of stuff up. And yeah, the place looks pretty sharp, you know?
All right, so as we've discussed many times, when you opened a gym, there had to be a little pressure, being that you are the gym guy. I mean, you're the Mutant on a Mission guy.
Yeah, actually, that's actually a really good point. Like, there was a lot of pressure. I mean, we all had pressure on us, obviously. And my partners are experienced business guys. They own supplement stores and other businesses and stuff.
Right.
So, you know, they're obviously feeling the pressure of, you know, when you open a business, you got to make it succeed.
Yeah.
These guys are more bodybuilders. Myself, I more look like a cyclist compared to these guys, but the guy
Dido's the only active pro
That's right.
still rolling here. So as you can see, I interrupted his meal. It's
So,
okay.
you know, us not just being business owners, we're
Right.
all bodybuilders.
Right.
You know, we're in the gym. We're here every morning.
We're present,
We're
man.
on the equipment. We're with everyone here. So, you know, Ron will come in at night. Myself and Diddle will train clients. We're in here in the morning. So we see everyone different parts of the day. It just seems like the members, they know that we care about West Coast Land. It's not a paycheck. I mean, we're not. We'd love to get rich in this one day, but it's not something where...
That's not usually the way you get into a business if you're trying to really get rich.
Yeah, so we weren't like a group of friends that came together. It kind of all happened all at once. Ron is get a kick out of it. It was like the force brought us all together, right?
You know, like, you know, there's gonna be so many things to run into where everyone turns to you and goes, well, which one do we get?
Right.
You know, like that sort of thing. So you just try to do the very best you can. You know, you trust your experience, you trust your instinct.
Right.
You know, like, what equipment have I used that I loved? You know, that's all you can really go by.
Right.
Luckily, it really, you know, served well. I mean, we've done good at picking pieces, and everyone uses everything that's in here. You know, the oldest piece in here to the newest piece in here, it all gets used.
One thing I noticed, and you know this from traveling all over the world, is your gym has become a destination gym. People will either come near Vancouver and then come here, or they will come to Vancouver just to come
Just to
here.
train here, yeah.
So what are the parts in this section that you think have kind of made that happen?
Well, I mean, gyms have changed it in the last 5 years. A lot. There's a lot more gyms, like
Right.
a lot more gyms coming up that are getting like 2 leg presses instead of just 1.
Right.
You know, that sort of is a more back in fashion, a little more like aggressive equipment selection and stuff like that, which is, I mean, that's great. But I'd say that just having a leg room, like having a whole side of the gym devoted to legs is something that most gyms don't have the luxury of doing.
Right.
So just this by itself, you know, and some leg stuff back here too, but this whole side is pretty much legs.
Right.
So, you know, 4 leg presses, 4 squat machines, you know, just the number of stuff, and everything's different. You know, we don't have any repeats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's what people love on when it comes to leg day.
Yeah, you gotta have options, you know? As you've been building up the gym, and with, you know, the last 2 years and things that have happened, do you ever have a moment where a piece of equipment becomes available that you guys weren't really in the market for, but we need to buy it today?
Yeah, actually, a funny example of that is this T-bar right here.
Okay.
So we have this old T-bar that we all love.
Right.
And it actually broke. We have to get it welded.
Okay.
So you can still use it, you just can't rack it. So it's
Right.
sort of, you know what I mean? So we haven't had it fixed yet, and we got a couple pieces that we actually sold that we're shipping out. So we didn't have room for this T-bar,
Right.
but I found it. And we really wanted an old Icarian,
Right.
like this, you know, the old
exact- yeah, yeah.
square tube Icarian, right? So I saw this on Marketplace, called the guy, got it right away.
Right.
So this is sort of cluttered right now, but the gym's like it's always changing, you know. Like we
Right.
got something there that's going on a pallet soon to ship out. We got a new piece coming next week. We got to move some stuff around, so it never ends. But if you see something you like, sometimes you just got to get it.
Yeah, it'll be gone.
Yeah.
I think that's an interesting thing. Plus, you know, a thing I've experienced as even a member is, you just said you have equipment going out.
Yeah.
How often do you send out a piece and someone immediately walks up to the front and says, "Where's my favorite leg curl?" You're like, "Oh, we don't have that anymore."
Pretty rarely, because we're pretty good at the switch. Like you know, the piece I like is gone, but there's another piece that I really like. You know, like you try to do a good job of that. You don't want to get rid of stuff that people love and then get something that they don't use. I mean, you got to make good moves.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
It's fascinating to me how many gyms will like get rid of a hack squat, and then there
Right.
isn't a hack squat anymore.
Right.
All right, so I wanted to look at a couple pieces that even I haven't seen or used. So yesterday I'm training chest, and Ron's out here training, and I said, "Hey, you guys don't have a decline machine?" And I think I was maybe leaning on this, not quite sure. And he was like, "Well, that's exactly what you're looking at right here." Because I looked at it, I literally thought, I mean, it looks to me like it's just a flat press. I actually was talking in my video about how I don't use flat presses. I pointed at it. You didn't know that.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I don't use a flat press. It's dangerous for my pec. So you pointed this out. How did you guys stumble into this? I mean, I've never even seen it.
Well, we saw some really nice Panada stuff. I've used some old Panada stuff they've been making equipment for a long time. I used some of the old plate loaded. It was great.
Right.
And we had an opportunity to hop in on an order with the guys from Pure Muscle. They were doing a big Canada order.
Oh, okay.
They were doing like a bunch of pieces. And they said, hey, you guys want to grab some pieces? We're going to get a really good price.
Nice.
So we hopped in on an order for them. I think we got 5 or 6 pieces from Canada.
Right.
And we were just looking for some nice stuff that could change it up, make it a little bit different, you know?
Right.
We wanted to have some pieces that not everyone else had.
This was great.
Yeah, so this was one of the pieces that we got. And I think Dido really wanted this piece. And I mean, it gets used all the time. It's a great piece.
It's fantastic.
You know?
I mean,
So you're right, it's a bit of a decline too, you know?
I figured out early, I put my hands too close.
Boom, and it's a real nice converge. So yeah, it's a good piece, you know? Of course, you get the safety step for
To get out,
us
which
guys.
is another thing that I was talking about because I was using your hammer strength, they're selectorized.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the problem I have with those is I have to get into them.
Right, you gotta do the slide and pop.
I will actually lift up the thing, and at my gym they got like little foam pads. I slide them in there, so when I push off from high, they just fall.
Yeah.
And that's how I start my
You block
set.
it out.
Yeah, so these things are like life changers to me.
Yeah,
you
it was
know?
cool.
So it's a lot of good stuff. And I mean, even this Atlantis piece, I mean, just a lot of pieces you don't see at all the gyms. You know what I mean?
I'm real happy with every piece we have right now. Like, you know, I use all the stuff. That's another thing too, is like as I train, I consciously think like, I haven't used that piece for a while, I'm gonna use it today.
Right.
And I try to use everything. It's also the best way to like sort of keep, you know, pay attention to how is the equipment.
So because I had to point out a new piece, I have to drag you, because I'm old school. I like the older stuff the best, to be honest with you.
Right.
So you have a little gem over here
Oh yeah.
that I had to point out. So, you know, like I pointed out, I really like the old school equipment. As much as it's cool to see the new stuff,
Yeah.
these are the things that grab my eye. What, how, when, and where did you find this? Because it's probably almost as old as I am, but it works better than I do.
It actually might be as old as you. Yeah. So Nautilus Super Pullover, great find. I saw it on one of the, you know, marketplace or something.
Right.
It just popped up. Someone sent it to me. They said, hey, look at this. And it's a guy's like 15 minutes away.
Get out.
So I message him, and it turns out he's a cop. He's got his garage gym is full of hammer strength. He's got this fully kitted out home gym that's like crazy setup.
Right.
And he's got a couple pieces he just can't fit in his garage anymore. And this was one of them.
Right.
And he had it in a shed. I went and looked at it. I told him right away, I want this. And he was so excited that it was gonna go in a real gym.
Right.
Where bodybuilders were gonna use it.
Right.
He was an old school guy. He watched Blood and Guts. He was a big fan of the old training, right?
Right.
And he was so excited that it was gonna go in a real gym that he goes, I'll tell you what, I'll deliver it and I'll set it up.
No way.
So he brought it here, he delivered it, he put it together, made sure it was clean, you know, everything.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so what a great guy, but I gotta thank him, you know, for going through the effort and making sure we got it the way we did, so.
I just love this piece because I've trained on it at, I mean, the first place I actually used this was a quads gym, which you have done.
Oh, yeah.
And the first time I got on this, and Gold used to have one, Venice, which they don't have it anymore.
Right.
And I don't understand why they got rid of the chain.
I love it. It'll last forever.
Right.
There'll be cockroaches and Nautilus pullovers left after
we're all gone?
after the nuclear war. So.
So you also, I mean, this is what I mean about when you're walking around a great gym is, I've been training, I mean, I've trained here before, but I haven't been here in years. Yesterday's the first day back, and I waited for a Smith because I didn't even know this one was here. So you guys spread it out intentionally, unlike most gyms, to just for space, or how'd you?
Well, you need a Smith machine in the upper body area, and you need a Smith machine in the lower body area.
And now it makes sense.
Right? You know, you might want to do, you know, Smith incline press, and then, you know, dumbbell flies, right? You know, I always bothered me when they would put both Smith machines like on the far side or whatever. I thought Smith machines need to be spread out.
Right. You know? It's funny because that's the thing about an owner that actually, owners, I should say, that use their gym, because it does change things.
Oh,
Because,
yeah.
like we've discussed many times, things that drive me crazy is if there's not weight trees. if I have to walk around a gym to get plates, it drives me crazy. And I think a gym owner that just owns a gym doesn't even know that.
Right.
Because he's not doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That was funny because that came up a few times, like as we were setting the gym up, you know, like I remember talking one day to the guys and they're like, we need to move that with one weight tree. Like that stuff comes up because you realize you're always going to get plates for a piece. And you're like, well, if I'm doing it,
so
that means someone else is doing it.
Yeah.
You're like, hey guys, we got to move this weight tree. And you know, it is, I mean, I can't imagine, you know, training at a gym that the owners didn't train at now.
Right.
Because they would be clueless as to those little problems, right?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to cover one thing before we walk around because I do need to, I don't care, but people are going to want to see the cardio.
Oh,
but
okay.
One thing I wanted to touch on before that I don't think most people realize, when you go into gyms like yours, like the places you're going to, we talk about the equipment.
Right.
We talk about, you know, your leg room and the walls and whatever. I feel like the thing that's missed is the culture.
Right.
You guys create something because, like, for example, this morning I come in the gym and I'm a member for the week, and behind the counter are two of the owners. The other one comes in later. They're interacting with all the members. And so what I start to notice, beyond everyone just knowing who you guys are, is I was gonna make a wisecrack about how if you don't have a weight tree close, people will stop putting things back.
Right.
But that doesn't happen here. Do you find that that's an area, if you were giving advice to members, the intangibles are what makes a gym? Because I can open up down the street from you with better equipment if I'm a billionaire.
Right.
But it doesn't mean I can beat you if I don't have that.
Yeah. Well, it comes down to the experience.
Right.
Like, you know, I know we hear that stuff when we hear people talk about the experience, you know, the customer experience. And then you're like, wait a minute, let's think about all the gyms I've trained at. Like, I've trained at some gyms that had millions of dollars of brand new kit.
Right.
And I was annoyed at the end of my workout, and I'm probably not gonna go train there again.
Right.
And maybe I was annoyed because of the way it was set up. The dumbbells were a disaster.
Right.
You know, we've been in gyms where
recently.
we've trained in gyms where we went to the dumbbell area to do presses and just said, oh, I guess we're not using dumbbells here because it was such a crazy mess that we just walked away and went and used the machine.
And we had the same thing with plates before, remember?
We used plates.
We used 35s because there weren't 45s close enough.
Yeah, like we're
So
looking
we were like,
around.
We'll just use those.
Yeah. So, you know, you think about the experience, and nice stuff, fancy, you know, really dressed up, that's all valuable. But at the end of the day, there's certain people where their workout is what matters more than any of that.
Oh, for sure.
And they don't want to be annoyed. They don't want to be frustrated. They don't want to not be able to find the other 30-pound dumbbell. They don't want to be looking for plates. They're like, I'm just get out of here. I'm going back to the gym where there were weights and dumbbells were put back, and you know, so that's a big part of it.
Absolutely. Well, walk us up. Let's see, because I heard the members are telling me you got some new cardio equipment as well.
Yes.
So I did have a couple members tell me you had a bunch of new cardio equipment, and they were stoked about that. How do you guys handle bringing in cardio equipment and all that? Because it seems like you've changed it a couple times since you've owned the gym.
Yeah, you know, I was given some advice by a good friend of mine that owns a lot of gyms, and it seems to be working for us. He said, you want to own your equipment, but you don't necessarily want to own your cardio.
Right.
You know, once you own it, you know how things are made to last as long as a warranty.
Right.
And once your cardio's off warranty, hey, you never know. You might have 3 treadmills go down at the same time, and it's $1,500 a piece, and it's just all the hassle. You're responsible for fixing them, you know, all that stuff. And with how we operate and the dynamic with how the owners operate, we've been very happy to keep the cardio new on its warranty and just turn it over every 3 years. We've done we just did a new turnover. So this is all brand new up here. And we brought it up with a forklift. You know, we've got a spot in the gate here.
Right.
This gate here opens up.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
We just forklifted everything up on pallets and just unloaded it up here and put it out. So yeah.
All right, so one thing that we've talked about before with gyms, and I've always said, a lot of people had asked once I moved to South Carolina, like, you should open a gym, they need a gym, and my fear was, open a gym that I love, something like this, is a little nerve-wracking because you don't know if people that don't know would understand and would click through it. Whereas you've got the more well-known like Planet Fitness of the world where it's like the goal isn't really to be a good gym, it's to be a good business.
Right.
You guys opted to obviously make a heaven for people like us. And like I said, I want to say it was something like 80% of Planet Fitness members don't come into their gym.
Right, yeah.
You know, or usually like once every 4 weeks or something like that. What is your member use? Like when people are a member here, how often do they come in? I mean, it seems like I see people all the time.
So one of the funniest things was I had a friend who used to manage a large corporate gym. And he told me that his average member came once every 9 days.
Right.
Because they have so many inactive memberships that it sort of averages out to once every 9 days. And the last time I checked, our average our members came an average of 4.3 times a week.
So your members are using the
Members
gym.
are here at least 4 to 5 times a week, the average member.
That's awesome.
So one of the disadvantages of that is you don't get that inactive membership culture. Right? You were charging a premium price for a membership because the gym is extremely important to these people.
Right.
You know, we were not charging the $10 a month thing, right?
Yeah, it won't work.
You have to actually charge a price to use the gym.
Right.
So you're not going to wind up with thousands of inactive memberships.
Right.
So that's where the juice bar and the pro shop and all of that come in, and you know, the merchandise, always having hoodies, always having hats, always having t-shirts.
Right.
You got to service the members in other ways. We're bringing in the Pride Foods cream of rice, and we're bringing in the Mutant is always stocked, and we've got some other great brands that have really been great to the gym that we support as well.
Right.
And you know, Ditto's sponsored by HD, so he's got the HD wall.
Right.
Like, you got to service the members, bring in the brands that they want, bring in the stuff they want, you know? And you know, we got the tanning beds and all that stuff.
Well, guys, it wouldn't be a Mutant on a Mission if I didn't have the owner drag me through a workout in their phenomenal gym. So here we go. The favorite part, the reason I came to West Coast Iron to do this really was just to train back. So Ron, let's get to it.
Let's do it. I'm gonna let you pick because, you know, you're the
I'm a
bodybuilder.
guest. I'm the guest. We're doing back. We're gonna start down with a pull down movement. I told Ron 2 basic old school rowing movements, and then we're gonna finish off with 1 additional pull down movement, just because Ron will be very disappointed if we do 3 things and leave. So that's what we're doing. Let's get started.
Next set gonna be work set.
I'll probably do 1 more touch, because I think I'm probably gonna do the stack for work.
Oh, you think so?
Okay, you're still stacking things, eh, Dusty?
Yeah. Okay. It's the only way I can remember how much to use, is if I just use it all on everything.
There you go.
We'll do 1 set there.
It's all about keeping it simple.
Right. You can't
have to
count, so
remember.
you just use everything.
Straight to the bottom.
Stacking it. 3. Come on, buddy. 4. Yep. 5. Yep. Let's go. Drive. Yep. Yep. Again.
Let's force a couple.
Yep.
1 more.
2. Nice. Good. You just
Nice.
kept driving those out.
That's
I
good.
thought you were gonna need a spot, and then it was just hovering. So let's do a good solid row movement. What are you thinking?
Well, I can't help but notice there's no one in the area where we just pick up a bar off the ground. Just saying.
I have an idea. Okay, he has an idea.
I like this, looks good. Trying to figure out the best way to get it off, you know? Oh, you're recording? Oh, shit. Leave that on, it's the truth.
Really extending the shoulder blades and feeling the middle back load. I feel the tension across the middle back. It's pulling my shoulder blades down and out, and then just driving everything back, but without doing this, you know, just driving everything back behind me. So good contraction.
So I'm gonna do like 2 reps. This will be like a decide what weight I'm using set. I can't, it's weird, like some people when they're doing a new movement can mentally walk up to the weight and they're not sure if it's their set or not and decide once they're going. If I pull this up and I decide it's my set, I have to put it down, then get my mind ready that I'm doing the set, even if it's the same. Because I can't be like, oh, okay, I guess I'll go now, and be in that mindset. It's weird. That's not the one. I'm gonna do 2 more plates. So 935. The Canadian gravity is polite. I think it has something to do with the snow, the gravity. Anyways. Come on. Come on, Ron. Big back. Big back. Come on. Big back. Get some. Get some. Come on, Ron. Come on.
It's just like getting groceries. It's like getting groceries. A little bit of lifting. Hey, good. Keep me fit.
Very good. Second time, it gets the mojo, you know? That was good. That looked heavy. I just see like, that just like appeared heavy in every way, Dusty. I thought my head was gonna pop, so that was cool.
Thanks, guy.
Look at those veins. Damn.
Hey.
I hate those sets. So long. Gonna hurt himself.
So I've done a lot of one arm, what we call Meadows rows, but I've never done them exactly this way. This is Dusty's method with the angle and how he's holding the bar. So, you know, give me a little bit of leeway here.
Let's go. Yes, sir. 2, 3, 4. Let's work. 5, 6. Get nasty. 7. Get nasty. Get that. Come on. More. At least a minute. Go. Come on. Come on. Get some. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, Ron. 5. I need 3. 3. Get him. Get him. Again. Nice.
They're good, they're different. They're kind of cross body. Hey?
Stupid. This is too much. He's gonna make an announcement. Yeah, it's too much. It's not good. I take a minute between the two sides. I ain't higher rep. Minimum. It's like, I don't know why someone wouldn't understand. Even if they have good cardio, you can't treat your second side as if it's not as important as the first side. So, you're coming to the gym in a rush. Why? We're gonna rush home to the family? They'll still fucking be there. Get this done. Let's go. Yep!
Hey, 5 more. Let's go.
Hey!
One more. Once where I got in a minor traffic accident while I was doing pullovers and I was ejected from the machine. I didn't have the seatbelt on, right? So could have been a bad scene.
Good, but I definitely know I feel like I'm walking like this, which is very douchey, but I can't help it right now.
That's the best feeling though, that like, I can't help it, my back feels huge, you know?
No doubt.
I take what I can get now. The only time I feel big is when I'm like completely full of blood and carbs.
You have 60-minute window every day.
Yeah, 60-minute window.
All right, Mutant Nation, this is the official end of my very first Mutant on a Mission with, of course, the king and founder of Mutant on a Mission, Ron Partlow, at West Coast Iron. Came to one of my favorite gyms, trained my absolute favorite body part with my absolute favorite training partner. Could not be a more successful day, and just happy to be a part of this. Hope you guys loved the day. I know you love the gym. Until next time, Mutant Nation, we're out.